Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Audit Podcast, and I'm your host, Smokey. Today, I'll be interviewing a YouTuber named Modern Chris. He was actually very interesting, and we had a real long talk. So, get ready for this 1 hour podcast, and I'll go ahead and get out of your face. Thank you, and make sure you subscribe. I'll also leave his channel in the description so you can join. So you can just check it out. All right, see y'all. Bye. Let's get Oh no, not that. Oh, not that. No, okay. We don't got any
Oh, the
staff members.
camera. The
Yeah.
camera,
All right.
yo.
Welcome everybody to the Audit Podcast. And today we got Modern Chris here with us today. How are you, Chris?
I'm good, bro. What's up?
That's good, bro.
Excited to be on here.
Yeah, of course, man. Happy to have you on here. I was really excited to get through with this today. Um I don't know what I just did to myself here. My OBS just kind of maximized and it's not unmaximizing. How do I get to my thing? Wait, wait, what did I clicked F11 too many okay, no, we're good. Okay, cool. So all right. All right, cool. What's up, Chris? Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on YouTube.
Okay. So, my name is Modern Chris. Some of you watching may have seen my videos before. I've been posting for a while, and I've been pretty successful on YouTube as of the last few years, thankfully. But I've actually been doing YouTube for a while. I started when I was really little, back in like 2014, actually. So I started my channel 10 years ago.
Oh
And I was just a little I was just a little kid playing around, and one thing led to another, and 10 years later I kind of have like 180,000 subscribers now. Huge audience. I've impacted a lot of people's lives, and it's been amazing. It's been a huge journey, and I've started a trend on Roblox at one point. I made a huge game that kind of kind of failed, but was a really cool experience. And I've been making a lot of videos. I've been helping people with guides and like teaching people stuff for a long time, but it was really a journey, and like it wasn't all just instant. This took a while. I've been doing this since I was little, and I just kept going at it, and eventually it just clicked, and I started to gain more and more traction, and now we're here on this awesome audit podcast.
Yeah, of course, man. That is crazy. That 10 years ago, I was
Yeah.
being born 10 years ago. um, but that's amazing, man. Like I've seen like all the progress you've made, and you've definitely made a lot. Um,
Yeah.
what would you say? Like, what kind of impact have you had on your subscribers and stuff?
I've had, I think, like some of the best times are when I get like a message from a fan, and they're just like messaging me saying that like my videos have like inspired them to start their journey, inspired them to start their own like business or their own channel or a podcast. Like I've gotten a lot of those messages, and that's always amazing when I could like see people that have been impacted directly from my content. And like I try to kind of angle my content with that in mind. I'm always trying to teach people the best way to do things, and I'm always just giving them advice as if it was like a younger version of myself. So like I've been playing Roblox for a while, and so I've known and like learned a lot of things over the years that I try to always teach people in the videos. And honestly, I'm just trying to help people become successful, and like eventually maybe make an income and stuff by themselves on Roblox. And that's mainly what my videos focus on. And so it's always amazing when I can impact people directly, and for them to like purposefully talk to me about it. It's always amazing to just see people that have been impacted by it.
Yeah, that's good, bro. Like, that's good. So, like, that was your main goal when you started your YouTube channel? You just wanted to help people?
I mean, when I first started, I was just doing it for fun. Like
Mm.
back in like 10 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. But I guess it kind of evolved. Yeah, like there was a time where I just wanted to make money, and I was like, okay, how do I make? I was just bored in my room. How do I make $1 million? I want to
Yeah,
make a
we
ton
all
of
been
money.
there.
Um, and sometimes I still still think like that. I mean, I think it's good to have some of that, but yeah, it's kind of evolved over the years. I want to just like help people and help people become successful. And if I can become successful myself doing that, it's a win-win. And so I've been blessed to be able to grow on my channel, and while I'm helping people, I've been growing my channel at the same time, and it's been amazing. I think
Yeah,
having
exactly.
that thing is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what happens when you're a good person, man. You get good rewards.
Yeah.
Have you ever made a personal connection with any of your subscribers, or like maybe you've become friends, or
Yeah, I mean, I think, I have a Discord server where I have like all my fans, they congregate into this one Discord server, and it's seen more active days, but I could definitely prioritize it more. I kind of don't use it as much, unfortunately, but I still have a lot of people in there. And so, I try and like interact with people in there, and if they have a question, they'll mention me, um, and then I could talk to some people. So I've definitely interacted with people, and then it's always a great time. Sometimes I host like events in my server every once in a while, and we do fun things. So I'm always for that. And sometimes I even see like fans, they'll message me on Roblox or on Twitter, or they'll see me in a game, and so I'm always trying to just like connect with people. And I think it's powerful to have like a relationship with your audience, because they can show you where you should evolve to in your content, and they can give you ideas. They can show you what you might not see, that you might be lacking in something. They can kind of help you. Like, I think it's very powerful, and I think the people that are not building a relationship at all with their audience, they're missing out, because it's a very powerful thing. And so I always strive to do that.
yeah, yeah, that's good, man. I mean, you definitely want to have a good relationship with your audience if you want to keep them active and stuff. Um, Let me see. I did okay. So, what I wanted to ask you is, what do you have a certain strategy? I mean, I guess you basically just explained it to me right now, but like, if you have a certain strategy to grow your channel even more in a faster pace and to keep your community active.
Um, I mean, there's a million strategies that you can use on YouTube. Like, I think I don't know. I don't just think to like a specific like one thing that just makes me blow up on YouTube. I think it's a lot of different aspects, but I do think a big thing I focus on, and I've kind of just like subconsciously always done this, but I just make videos that people really want to see. It's like it's so obvious, but a lot of people will like sometimes, because I always think of like you have to have a balance between what you want to make, and then what your audience wants to see too. So you can't have too much of one side, because then that just is not like it doesn't work, right? So I'm always just trying to make content that people want to see. And so, for example, like Robux content on my channel just does really well, because obviously people want to
Yeah.
make Robux, right? That's like a huge thing. So I don't blame her. Like that
Yeah.
makes sense. So
And
so I make a ton of.
coming from a person who knows a lot about it, it's like, pretty much guarantee. I mean,
Yeah.
you just
So
have
I
you just
just
have to put that work into it, but you're giving the guide, so
yeah, I'm giving them as much as I can without like just doing it for them. So I give them what they need, what they want to see, and then obviously people respond positive to that. What's also helped me a lot is just doing this for so long. You start to pick up on certain ways to portray videos. I'm always my titles, my thumbnails, they'll be on point, and I don't even have to put that much thought into it. I can kind of just because I've been doing this for years, and so all that practice, I have like I don't even know. I think it's like 500 videos or something, maybe more on my channel. So I've been doing it for a while, and so a lot of it is just kind of natural to me. It's the same thing with like Mr. Beast, for example. Like it's very natural to him. He's gonna be able to work on a video, and it will just instantly go viral because he knows exactly what to do. So as for strategies, I really do try to give content. I try to do content that I know is gonna work, and I know that people want to see. And a lot of it is practice. A lot of it is just doing content for so long, and improving on small aspects of the video over years. If you improve on like a little part of your video over and over and over again, your videos start to improve exponentially. And I mean, that's when you start to see real growth because people will start watching your videos longer because they're more engaging. And then once you get that longer retention and YouTube sees that people are tuning into your content more and they're watching more videos, they're watching longer videos of yours. And then your video then the algorithm starts to push your thing out like crazy. And that's when you start to blow up. So definitely work on the quality of your video. You have to have a video that's entertaining. It's really important that you keep people watching and
Yeah,
you have a
it gotta be entertaining.
full package of the video. The thumbnail, the title, the intro, the purpose of it all. You have to leave the viewer with like a feeling that they've like learned something or that even it could just be like really entertained, but you have to leave the viewer with something that they've gained. They have to feel that at the end of the video. If
Mm.
not, then you've failed the purpose. So all these small things, they all just kind of add up into the main strategy.
Yeah, exactly. You ever go back and like just watch your old videos and get a notepad and just like write down maybe things you'd fix for future videos?
Yeah, yeah, my videos used to suck back then. I've improved like crazy. Even
I
like
actually watched some of the old ones you had. They were pretty good.
how old? Like what? How many years ago?
Well, I watched not your oldest. I think I went to your oldest, which was 4 years ago, or I don't even know.
No, it's older than that.
It's
My
it's a
pub
lot older than
older.
that.
Okay, yeah, I think my oldest public videos are like 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I was being born 4 years ago. But nah, I think your videos have had good quality for definitely a long time, but I guess like a consistent viewer who likes watching your videos, they could probably see the potential that you have to make your videos even stronger than they are.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I was going through your channel a bit, and I saw that little AFK game thing.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask you about that and what that was all about.
Sure. I mean, you want to talk about that now? Okay.
I mean, if that's most important to you, it seemed really important to you at the time.
Yeah, that was a fun era.
Yeah,
We could talk about that. That was in I think 2021, right? That was like early 2021.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago now. Crazy how long. That's felt like yesterday, honestly. So yeah, anything specific? I mean, I could just kind of go over how it like happened.
Well, I mean, what inspired you to like do all that? I
Yeah.
mean, it seemed
Okay.
like it
So
worked out pretty good for you, so I'm just
it
like,
it it did work. It did work out. I mean, if you see my hat is thanks to that.
yeah,
Yeah. So funny enough, like it wasn't planned at all, right? Like I didn't
yeah,
plan this. I didn't plan it in advance. So I'll be very honest. Like it was honestly pure luck, but it was really good timing, and so there's a lot of factors that went into it that I'll explain. But basically, how it started was I I had seen on my friends list how this is 2021, and I had just seen on my friends list that these people were playing this game called like AFK games, and it wasn't a trend yet. It wasn't popular or anything, but it was just like between like these like mutual friends, right? It was like this small groups. And I would join my friends in these AFK games, and it would literally just be a donation board. And this for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, by the way. It was the whole trend was, but it wasn't a trend at this point yet. The whole premise of the game was you would just have a donation board in a game, and it would just be like a default game. Like there was like no effort put into this, but just a donation board. And the whole purpose is that you basically just AFK or you don't do anything, and rich people donate you a ton of money.
yeah,
It's the dumbest concept ever, but I thought it was genius because I was like, yo, if I can make Robux and money just standing in my game, I'm gonna do it.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So
It sounds almost too good to be true, right?
it does, dude. So I decided I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this then because I wanted to make some Robux, and I wasn't that rich at this point. I had like the most I had was like an Ice Valk, which was I think like 100K at that point. So I was okay. I had some Robux, but
You
Not
wanted
compared
more.
to now. Yeah, I wanted
You
more.
had
I
a you
wanted
had a
more.
desire for more.
Yeah, I was trying to get rich, so I decided to make my own game, AFK game. And I didn't even think much of it. I was like, okay, I might get a little bit lucky. Maybe some of my rich friends will join and donate. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna make this game. We'll see what happens. Probably not gonna have probably nothing crazy, but it's worth a shot. And so I make my game, and yeah, lucky enough, I have a lot of rich friends. Over the
Yeah,
years,
exactly.
I became friends with like a ton of people, a lot of successful people on Roblox. So yeah, luckily I have like a ton of rich friends. So when I did this game, I started getting some donations. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was still pretty big for me at that point. So, I would have like one person donate like 1K, then another one would donate like 2K. So, wasn't anything compared to like later, but it was still pretty good for me. I was like, okay, this is, free 3,000 Robux right here. Sure.
Well,
Um
yeah, I mean, you're just standing around.
dude, the whole concept's crazy. Like how are you just gonna
Yeah,
stand
exactly.
and make money?
And
So yeah, the
if
donations.
yeah,
Yeah, keep going.
well, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, bro, I actually did that too. Except like I wasn't actually I was just a no I was just your average kid playing Roblox, bro. But
Yeah.
I was actually into Roblox Studio and stuff. Except I didn't really know what the hell I was doing half of the time. But I was always in Roblox Studio, so I just went to the toolbox, pulled like 99 things out, made a military map with a bunch of cars, and put a donation board there. And I just stood there for like, and I think I actually left it on for like 5 days straight. And I made
Wow.
like 10 Robux.
that's
It was
that's so
crazy.
funny.
But I think if I wanted to, I probably could have advertised it more, but I kind of just stood there without anybody knowing that I exist.
Wow.
But
Yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, it started off like a huge trend. So basically we go from there to it slowly started to gain a little bit more traction. I had a few rich friends that would try and beat each other. Nothing crazy yet, but it was like slowly. I think at this point maybe I made like 5,000 total Robux, which was pretty good for me at that time.
yeah,
Um, and then I just decided to, like I was this is perfect timing because I was like blowing
I think we
time.
lost.
I had some huge videos going on. I was gaining a ton of subscribers at this point, so it was really really good timing. And I decided to just live stream the game and just
Yeah,
bring my entire audience into the game and try and get donations. Because like,
yeah, exactly.
what else are you gonna do when you have a huge audience in
Yeah,
this
I
game?
mean,
I mean,
sometimes you got to
it
take
fits
advantage of that, right?
for sure. Yeah, it fits pretty well. So basically, I just started live streaming the game, and yeah, naturally, a lot of people started joining. I would get like 100 players. And yeah, every once in a while we would get a rich. It was one of two people. It was either a rich developer or a rich UGC creator. Those were the two types of people that would donate.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just slowly as I started to stream the game. And by the way, I wasn't like just telling my fans like, guys, give me money, donate. Like I was just doing things on the side. We would create mini games and all this stuff, and then just naturally people would just donate. And I didn't even really call attention to it until obviously someone donated, and then I would like go crazy. Um, but it just slowly started to ramp up. We would get like a 10,000 donation from some random developer. Then
Yeah,
somebody else would want to beat him, be number one. He would donate 20K. Then somebody would go crazy, donate like 50,000. And so
exactly.
after like a few days of that, just constantly people trying to one up each other and stay on top of the number one. I think the top donation, I don't even fully remember it. I probably should, but I think it was like 500,000 from one guy.
Damn. That's crazy, dog.
Yeah, I think
But
I think in total, I think the game made like 2 million around there, 2 million Robux.
yeah,
Which,
yeah,
dude,
that's quite a bit.
that was huge for me. That was like a 20x for my total
Yeah.
net worth on Roblox.
Well,
Um,
I remember watching the video. Um, you said you had made like 50,000.
yeah, because I was making I was making videos throughout the whole process,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess at that point I was at 50K. And
Yeah.
then I made like 3 or 4 total videos about it during this era because I was just trying to take advantage. I wanted to get views,
Yeah.
and I was making videos every time something big happened on it. But yeah, in total, it did really well, and also it even got as big as like Flamingo. He made a video about it, which got a ton of players. Like when he first uploaded that video, like so many Flamingo fans were joining. It was such a crazy experience.
Yeah.
And I even had I actually had a lot of hate for I had a lot of hate. I think the game, even now, it has more dislikes than likes. It has like, no, I could check. It has like a concerning amount of dislikes. Um, I don't even have the game right now, but it has like 3,000 dislikes.
Damn. That's, I
And then
mean,
yeah,
hey, but it still works, right? I mean, you're getting what you want.
right, yeah. There was like Twitter drama. People would tweet saying that this is unfair. You didn't do anything to deserve this. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Like I'd be mad too, dude. If somebody just shows up and starts making millions of Robux standing in a game, I'd be mad too. So I
Yeah.
get it.
I mean, if you made 2
I
million, I'm pretty sure there's like hella people who made a lot more than that.
yeah, definitely. But I definitely got lucky. Like I'll admit, I got very lucky with that trend. But at the same time, you also got to admit, like I had been working on my YouTube for literally years at that point, and so you know I had connections which kind of started it off, the donations, and that was kind of from like my hard work for so many years of like building people, and then also obviously my audience. Having an audience helps with the whole game. Like if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I don't think the game would go anywhere. So I built that over years, and
Yeah.
so you kind of can't say it didn't come from just like nothing. Like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
didn't just
yeah. You can't
yeah,
say
I
it's
didn't just come from thin air.
unfair,
Yeah, like
but
you have to put the work in somewhere. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was definitely smart of you.
yeah,
Um, one topic I did really want to talk. I was really impressed when you were doing your what's it called, sales on Roblox.
are you talking about the sales era, like
Yeah,
when it
that
was limited?
sales
Limited?
area, like yeah, like that one. That one really impressed me. You became like the Wolf of Wall Street on that one, dog.
Wolf of Wall Street of Roblox.
Yeah, it's like it was crazy because I mean I don't even know how all that works. So it just like it just interests me like so much because I've always wanted to learn how all that works, and I mean I guess it's not even here anymore, but it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that was a very fun that was a fun era of Roblox too. Um, I was deeply invested into that in like from I say like 2017 to I think it ended like 2019. So I mean, it had been going longer than that, but I got into it on, especially on YouTube, around those years. And this was early of my channel, so I mean, my channel kind of up from sales, right? Sales are kind of like my foundation on my channel,
Oh
and
really?
I have some OG fans. I have actually have a lot, surprisingly, a lot of OG fans from that era. Um, and it was a fun time. So if anyone here doesn't know what the whole like sale era of Roblox was, Roblox would release limiteds, like a ton of limiteds during these sales during specific it would be like around specific days. So it would be like a Christmas sale, then they would do a Black Friday sale, then they would do a Memorial Day sale, right? So they would do it around like holidays. So you could kind of like guess when the next sale would happen. And it was super fun because you were basically able to make a ton of money if you did it well, and it was really easy. It was not hard to do well. You just had to be really early. You had to be really early. So they would release. It was in called in like waves, right? So they would release like a ton of items at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., like always at the hour. So you just had to be ready. And yeah, people had different methods of like catching limiteds because they would sell out quickly, right?
Yeah.
Once the sales started, once like in 2018, 2019, as they got more popular, you would have to be really early, like first few seconds to get certain limiteds, and they would even release sometimes really big things like Ice Falk, for example. I think it started at 45K. I don't even know. I think it did, and I got that at 45K. Now it's like 300K or something. The
Yeah.
prices are crazy, but yeah, that was like a super fun time. And what I would do on my channel that helped a lot. It helped to grow my channel like crazy, and this is what kind of led to like my Roblox content now. So it's all thanks to like these early sales videos I used to do. I would do kind of similar to like now. I do guides, so I would help people. Like I would do a guide of like, okay, here's the plan for this sale. Here's what you should get. The predicted leaks of what might come out, and how much Robux you might need. All this stuff. So I'd give all these information. I would help people out, and then when the actual sale would happen, I would live stream during the sale for like 3-4 hours. It was some pretty long streams, and I would just like play obbies and random stuff with my fans while we wait for different waves and it's like catch different limiteds. So it was super fun.
Oh yeah.
And
So
yeah, I started to build a big audience with this stuff. I mean, it helped my channel like crazy. And it was funny because like there wasn't that many YouTubers doing it at that time. So like I can still recall all the YouTubers. We had like a small kind of like a small thing going, like a small competition between all the YouTubers because we were all around the same size, like 5-10K subscribers, and we would all live stream around the same time. And then naturally, even I started to realize like I could definitely make some money off of these, especially Robux. I could start making some Robux off this if I actually make a game around the sales. So I would start doing sale hangouts where people could actually donate. I had a donation board, so people could donate at the front. It wasn't anything like the AFK game, but it was like a full-fledged game. We would have like an obby, we would have an inside building where you could see the leaks, and you could have
oh
like mini
wow.
games. And we would all hang out in that game, and some of them would get popular. At one point, I remember during like the peak of I think it was the Black Friday sale of somewhere 2018, 2019. We had like 150 people in the game. We had some rich people. I remember there was a guy
Wow.
with Dominus Astra that he did some art for me. He was even admin. There was an Roblox admin in the game, so there was some pretty cool people, and it was a really fun time.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's amazing, man. That like you were able to be a part of all that. You basically joined Roblox like at its peak. Um
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing for a while. I joined in 2011, so I've been doing this
yeah.
since I was little.
Yeah. Not like you joined, but I mean, you were here like at
Yeah,
the
I
peak of
kind of I got in
Roblox.
I got
So
in at the right time. I got in
yeah.
at the right time. Yeah.
Anyways, that was really good. The so you were just like stream sniping limiteds and stuff and just seeing when they would, I guess, rise. I still don't really understand the concept of it,
Concept of what?
of like the sales thing. I guess it was like of how it all works. I know you just explained it and stuff, bro, but it's still like I'm just not good at understanding all that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of I just tried guides around like what limiteds to buy, how much Robux. We would look at
Yeah,
leaks.
but it would
It
start
was kind of
cheap and then it
unpredictable.
would go up, right? That was just like
The
the whole point.
items.
Yeah, the items.
Yeah, basically just buy them low and then sell them high. High. It was kind of like
What?
stocks, but it was items, and they would always start. There was like different ways of calling it. There was like a limited, then there was limited you. Sometimes they would make certain items go limited, or sometimes they would just release a certain item with like a certain stock. It's like 5,000 of this item, and then it would sell out.
Yeah.
And so they would sell. Sometimes they would sell limited use for like 75 Robux, and then you could once it's sold out, you could sell it for like 1,000. So there were a lot of different opportunities to make a lot of money with it at the time.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not available anymore, I guess, right?
Yeah, they stopped. They stopped like 2020, 2019.
Yeah. Hey, anyways, Smarty had a question for you. He said, "What's your opinion on the uprising of dev content space?"
I think it's cool. I don't personally watch that much dev content, but I'm here for any, uprising of some developers making videos. I think that's awesome. And, especially I know there's a lot of developers out there, and I think there should be more developer content. I think, there was some older YouTubers that were really good, but I've been waiting to see some more developer content kind of uprise, and so I think it's great, and I'm here for it. And I know a lot of people watching this podcast are developers, so I think that's great for them, and definitely keep it up, especially if anyone here watching wants to make like development YouTube videos. I think it's great, and I think it's really powerful, especially when you're comboing those two different kind of methods to make like money and Robux of development and YouTube. It's really powerful because they can kind of like help each other, and you could, if you make a game, you could throw some attention to it. So powerful combo, and it's amazing that community is starting to go higher now.
Yeah. I think that is amazing, but I don't really think that there's a lot of people who try to start developing on YouTube. I think it's a very interesting topic, but usually, I mean, what this podcast is all about is about mainly getting developers. YouTubers are I'm extremely lucky to have YouTubers on, and Chris, you kind of do like a bit of both, but for the most part, I really like doing developers and stuff to just see um like how what was I gonna say? Like how it all works. And so I used to be really into Roblox Studio, so I guess it's only for people who are really into that, I guess. But every time I see Roblox development, it's usually the same people, which um not it doesn't get boring, but for like someone like me looking for different people, I gotta scroll to the bottom of the list and try to see what I can get out of these developments.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, hey, I gotta take a quick call. Just
Yeah, that's
maybe
fine.
talk to the people real quick.
All right, I'll talk to the people. What's up, guys? How's the three viewers doing? Got the audit podcast going here. If anyone has some questions in the comments, I did see one question about my upload thing. We're working on that. I haven't been uploading as much lately, but been a little bit busy with some stuff. But definitely working on that. We're gonna be uploading more, so don't worry about that. If anyone else has any questions, I'm here for it. But I guess we could just talk generally. So basically, a little motivational speech. Let's do a motivational speech. I just want to say, everyone here, if you have a goal, you can reach it, right? And dude, I used to be like, my journey was I used to be like just this little kid playing Roblox. I would watch YouTubers just like me now, and I would always see myself, or I would always see other YouTubers, and I was like, I would think of them as just like completely separate, like aliens. They were like aliens to me. But yeah, now I'm one of those YouTubers, and I realize like, dude, literally anyone here can do anything. So if you have a dream, go for it. And I think, if you just slowly, every single day, you slowly put some steps towards it, then you can reach that goal. So keep going for it, and don't stop, don't give up. Motivational speech, Modern Chris.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're all about here in the Audit Podcast. We
Yeah,
make dreams
we're
and we
empowering.
keep them and power.
We're empowering developers. Yeah,
We're
we're
empowering the
trying to.
Roblox community.
If you're a developer, whoa, what just happened?
You good?
Yeah,
All right.
if you're a
Good for you.
developer, then you have the potential to reach your goals. Okay, you can actualize your goals. And if you have a small game right now, imagine you can literally be on the front page, right? You can be on the front page right now. So just realize that and go after your goals. And I'm sure that everyone here watching, every single one of you guys watching this podcast, you can reach those goals, and you could definitely achieve those with enough
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, exactly. You can achieve any goal you want. I had a goal to start a pod. I actually don't even know why I started this podcast, man. I mean, I've actually talked about this in a lot of podcasts, and I might just bring it up one more time because it's actually a very interesting theory that because I've always had this thing about where I start a bunch of social medias, like I start a brand and stuff. I'm like, I just start something and then I don't know what I'm doing by the time I'm done with all of it. And so, like, I did this podcast stuff. I saw your podcast, dude. And I was like, dang, this guy's cool. I mean, Project Supreme on the first video, how does he do all that? And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a podcast. I'm gonna do the exact same thing this guy did. And well, I guess a year later, I got him on.
Damn.
So yeah, but I've been doing this for about a year. I actually had like a 6 month stop. I don't even know why. I just wasn't motivated at all. But
Yeah, that does tend to happen with podcasts.
yeah, but I
A lot of
think
a lot of podcasts. Yeah.
yeah, but except I mean I was young when I did Smarty, and so I did Smarty. I think Thresto after that. No, yeah, I did Thresto, and then I did McChicken, which that dude was kind of cool. But nah, he was cool. He was cool. But and then after that, I kind of just like went on a break. But it's just I started maturing more, and so now I can actually talk. I can talk to people. You know,
Yeah.
like you hear my voice when Smarty was there. I mean, Smarty's basically my dad. Like he's been there. He's been there ever since the start. And so like I mean, I'm just so grateful for Smarty, bro. I mean, he's a really good role model, and I think Smarty he really likes um he really likes being engaged with a lot of developers and with his community and stuff, and he acts like a normal person. But
Yeah. Great. Great YouTuber.
yeah.
Any other questions we got?
Well, I actually do got a lot, and so we're only 30 minutes in, and got to make this at least an hour. So, anyways, I wanted to ask, do you have any specific sources of where you get like your information when you make your videos from? Like I know you make a lot of
Um,
informational videos, so I'm just like, where does he get all that Roblox drama?
um, well, for my like guides and stuff, I have this thing. Basically, there's this thing called my head, and basically, I just kind of I've been playing Roblox for so long that I know a lot of things,
Oh
and
yeah,
so I'll kind of just like brainstorm a certain thing that I think my audience would want to see. Like it could be help with commissions, and I've tried doing commissions a ton of times, and I know people that have successfully done it. So I could literally just sit down for like an hour and just brainstorm a ton of different tips and ideas around that, and I'll write a script up. And
yeah,
that whole thing helps a lot. And then I'm also on Twitter sometimes, so if I follow some Roblox news accounts, and so I'll see something on Twitter and I'll just instantly go on it, get my thoughts if something big happens on Roblox. So I do that a lot. So I mean, yeah, I get content ideas from a lot of different places, and we could talk about that later. But yeah, those things definitely help a lot.
yeah. So I mean, you're really like an active user on Twitter. Twitter's,
Yeah,
I mean, just like a place to go for everything.
yeah, there's
But
everything on there.
I use Twitter a lot. I see a lot of different things, and honestly, you probably haven't seen it. I started that Smokey Junior channel, and sometimes I post, but I mean, it's just kind of a side channel. Um, but I wanted to start doing informational videos. It's just I had no idea how. Like, you know, Chiseled, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, he has like a little green profile with an egg, but
Yeah,
he makes a lot of good informational Roblox videos, and I that's actually what I wanted to kind of start doing, but I started realizing that I kind of have to focus on one thing, right? Like you have a big YouTube channel, and but it's not like you do your podcast and your YouTube channel. I mean, you have to kind of prioritize one thing. And so I kind of thought about which way was going to be the best way to go. And
yeah,
I thought the Audit podcast was probably going to be more out outgoing than Smokey Jr.
Yeah. Um, that's a big problem a lot of people have. They like focus on too many things at once, and then that causes them to all fall. So, like for me, for example, I focused on just my main YouTube channel for like a ton of years, and I got that up to a big point where I had a lot of audience. And then yeah, obviously once you have a big audience and you're well known, then I started to branch into like my podcast. I did a development game. I started making second channels, like all these different things.
Yeah,
But I do think there's a period where you just have to focus on like one thing at once and
yeah,
just go from there. And
yeah,
that's
exactly.
something that people make that mistake of just they have too many things, and then that causes them to lose focus and they fail on all of them. So sometimes you do got to prioritize one thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but one thing I mean with the with a podcast, Smarty actually was talking to me about it. He told me that I have to do something that gets more exposure than just a podcast because I mean, how is it every day that you go out and watch a podcast? Like at whatever, you know that podcast?
No.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
the real life one.
yeah, it's a real life
I've
podcast. It's whatever.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate was on it or someone
yeah,
was on it, but they actually do really good. I mean if I wanted to own a podcast studio when I grow up, that's like the main image of what I'd want to do. And the really cool thing about owning a real life podcast is that there's so much more opportunities and there's so much more people to meet. Like when it comes to Roblox developing, there's so many YouTube developers um and YouTubers, but since I like doing YouTube developers, I I tend to bump into the same community like all the time. I like in the dev create server, everybody's pretty much in the dev create server and that's where I get all my people and so that's also who I see like on the list for YouTube who come up in the top. And so I think that real life podcasting is just like really good, but it's also harder cuz it's not Roblox.
yeah. It's all real life. Got to fly out people. But I mean, yeah, I would say definitely if you can like broaden
Yeah.
the people that you get on, yeah, because like just doing like only developments, small part of Roblox. Maybe you can kind of go to like just all of Roblox in general, like all the YouTubers, all the big developers, and obviously, yeah, that's definitely a hard thing to like get big people. I think you get there through like networking with people, and someone will recommend you, and sometimes you just get lucky and like a really big person will see your podcast and want to come on.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, a lot of that is also just being consistent. Just do it for a while. Eventually, you start getting bigger and bigger guests. So
Yeah. That's actually like Fulton, right? Fulton Roblox?
yeah,
Well, I tried
yeah,
reaching out to him and he said I had to tell his manager. I had to ask his manager and he said, "Well, Fulton didn't want to do it with you, but what I recommend is that you actually do it for maybe a year or so, a year more or so and come back because I think the only reason he didn't want to do it with you was because you're just you don't have a lot of exposure yet." And so
yeah,
when it comes to me podcasting people, they usually tend to think that I'm here to get their community to subscribe to my channel. Which I mean, like 25% of it is that, but
yeah,
at the same
definitely.
time, I like talking to people about what they do, and this is just also to get a more personal because I mean I don't feel like really any. I mean, I don't know what you do with your audience, but your audience probably doesn't know a lot of personal things like most of the stuff that you said here. And mainly like if they want to know everything, they have to go and watch all of your videos back from 7 years ago, which is probably going to take forever, but I mean, if they just watch maybe 20 or 30 minutes of this podcast, they're going to learn a lot of things about you.
Yep.
Just cuz some kid asked you to join a Roblox game and talk for a couple of minutes. But
That's the power of podcasts, man.
yeah,
Podcasts are like
exactly.
really powerful. Because you can have very normal conversations, but like what seems really normal to like the host, to the audience, or to the person talking can like completely just like change random person in the audience's life, or like completely change the way they think about something. So powerful stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So podcasting is definitely. When are you gonna release a new upload? Like I've been waiting forever.
On the podcast,
Yeah, I mean I'm sure a lot of people
yeah.
have been waiting, but
Um, I actually was gonna do an episode with this development YouTuber that may have been in the stream earlier.
oh yeah,
Um, yeah, I was gonna do an episode with him,
was it
and
Crush or who was that?
no, it was just like super. You probably don't know him. His name's like Smarty RBX.
Oh nah, I don't know that guy.
No, yeah, I don't know him either.
Yeah, I gotta look him
Apparently
up,
he
but
he wanted to be, yeah, he wanted to be on my pod. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't think I'm gonna put him on. But
yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna get some more people. I think there's even some new people since I started my podcast. There's some more new people in the community doing YouTube, doing development.
Yeah,
So I would love to get some more people on. And
yeah, that's
as
definitely great.
my description of that thing is to bring the best minds, ideas, and knowledge on Roblox all in one place. So that's basically the goal. Trying to, because
Yeah,
there's so much talent
exactly,
on Roblox, so much diverse talent that we're trying to get it on that podcast, capture it, inspire
exactly.
people.
And
Yeah.
I'm actually so grateful for the talent hub that they recently released on Roblox. What did you think about that when it got released?
I thought it was amazing. I've talked about it a lot on my videos. Um, is it still popular? Like, do people still use that a lot?
I mean, I think it's not like still new, but it's still I mean, a lot of people use it. I can tell you that. But it kind of replaced the developer forum, I think. But the
Yeah.
developer forum is still a thing. It's just meant to kind of replace it, and I think within a few years it'll probably just completely replace it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah. What do you think about row businesses? Do you have one?
Row businesses? What is that? Is that just a
Well,
business on Roblox?
yeah, it's just a business on Roblox, but I mean they're pretty cool. They're all over the place. Like
So
role play
like
games, hotel
games?
games. Yeah, I mean just like what do you
Yeah,
think in general about it?
I think it's awesome. I mean, the fact that you can make money off of a Lego game on Roblox online,
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Like, dude, you'd be surprised how much money is out there on this platform, even just on Roblox alone, let alone all social media and everything. But like, so much money. There's literally there's little kids making millions of dollars behind the scenes, and like
Yeah.
people, a lot of people don't realize that. Like they'll just associate Roblox as like a little kid game, and you'd be surprised. No one realizes that you can actually make money off of the game. And if they do, they think, okay, you can make maybe a little bit, but no, there's people pulling millions of dollars a year through Roblox games, through development groups, through all those things. And yeah, a lot of these people are in their teens, in their early 20s. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy the amount of opportunity. And I've seen some insane things. There's a lot of people making incredible amounts of money, and just there's a lot of opportunity on this platform.
Yeah. Like that's basically the conversation I had with One Cole. You know who that is, right?
Of course.
Um when I interviewed him, he started talking about how I mean he's like I like quoting him because he said Roblox is just literally a golden goose egg and it's just sitting there waiting to give you money. And so if you're not taking advantage of that, then other people will. And so that kind of motivated me because um he said he had made $300,000 just I mean, but he's been at it for probably like the last 7 years. But I mean, to make
Yeah,
$300,000 off a Lego game, that's different.
completely. Yeah, and there's so many people doing that exact thing. And
And if you
it's
start as a
super
teen,
true.
if you start like underage, you can you can just save that money because you don't have bills or anything. You don't have, and so you can just save it. And by the time you're 18, you have. I mean, you're probably gonna end up spending it because I mean that's just how people work. None of us save all of our money, but I mean by the time you're 18, you'll probably have $50,000 if you
Yeah, the
started when you were 11.
earlier you start, the better. I started when I was super young, dude, and I'm only 17 right now, but definitely, the earlier you start, the better. And you got to think about your future. And there's a huge opportunity with Roblox. So it's also a lot about building skills. I've built a ton of skills, like speaking skills, communication, just business, hiring people to make games. Like I learned so many skills just doing all these things on this game. And so that's the other thing you build along with the money. So, if you're young, yeah, definitely I would recommend just kind of getting in here, if you want to make a YouTube channel or a game, like just create something, just create some value, put it out there in the world, and just go from there because that's where success is.
Yeah, exactly. Um, you know,
Money's waiting for you. There,
I,
there's so much opportunity here.
yeah, I actually tried getting back into development about maybe a month or two ago, and you probably haven't seen it, but I made a Shrek game, and I'm like the closest bud I've actually been because within this podcast I do make a lot of friends, close connections with the people I meet. And so I've been talking to Pluto a lot, and he's like a really good advisor, I guess. Not really, but but he gave me this idea. He said, "Create a game where Shrek is chasing you and you have to deliver toilet paper to him." And I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about, but I'll do it anyway. So I ended up actually working on it for about a week, and that it came out like way better than I expected it to because I haven't been into developing in the last probably 2 years. But once you start learning the skills, I think just people stick with it.
100%. Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh. Um, yeah.
but I think
Ah,
yeah, anybody who wants to get into developing, I think it's a pretty easy skill to learn. As long cuz 1 year it's a long time, but it's not. I mean, if you had 1 year to live, what would that say? Um it's not. But so I mean, if you can just take maybe 1 year out of your time to just put all your effort into scripting or building or whatever you think interests you, uh I think you'll actually make very good development, and it's just all about consistency and dedication. I mean, you have a lot of dedication to your YouTube channel. I mean, 7 years is there's people who spend jail 7 years in jail, but I
yeah,
mean
and
that's just
and the time's gonna pass either way, so you might as well be using your time to grow and work on your craft. If you're into development, work on that every single day, even just like an hour a day. If you practice and work on that every single day, then in a year you could easily be in like the top 5% of developers on all of Roblox, and those people make a lot of money. So you want to be in that group, but you only get there with the hours of practice you have to put in and the hours of effort.
exactly. And I think actually right now is a really good time to start because like I was talking about earlier, I look up Roblox developers and I see like I mean there's like tons, right? There's just tons of Roblox YouTubers, but um like when I look at the Roblox developers, I see mainly the same like 5 or 7, like Smarty, Robuilder, Thresto, like all the people I've interviewed really. And so the community on YouTube of Roblox developers who are actually big right now is pretty small. And so if you start right now and you actually can become a part of that community, it'll put yourself in a good position.
Yeah.
Um, but definitely, yeah. Anyways, I still have like 20 more questions I can do unless I mean
Just
we
pick the
can
best ones.
well, let's see. I did write a lot down. I wanted to make this like
What would impact the lovely viewers of your audit podcast the most?
what would impact them. Let's see. I think man, what would impact them? I don't know. I think the stuff I talk about, the thing I like doing is I like talking to older people on the podcast because I'm still like a young kid. If I'm talking to another 14-year-old dude, it's not going to be as professional. It's like we're going to be talking about Roblox, but I mean when I'm talking with older dudes like Road Builder, that dude really inspired me. And I think that just being able to make these videos, I think that impacts the viewers a lot. Um I've had this conversation a lot in the latest podcast, but what I usually do say is that most of my audience, it comes from the people I interview and not really just from me. But like Andrew Tate going on a podcast, you don't see the podcast interviewing Andrew Tate, right? It's just Andrew Tate is just the prioritization. He's there and he's the spotlight. And so, Chris, I think you're like probably the spotlight of the channel right now, because I mean without you, I'd kind of have to entertain the people by myself, and I don't really even know how I do with that. But I think the impact on my on the viewers is what could be pretty good, because we're not only talking about personal things that go on in your life and my life, but um I think we do talk about a lot of inspirational things that inspire people. It's I don't really know how to get the words out of my mouth, but I think that it's just we say more things that can help people rather than inform them.
Yeah, I think that's the powerful thing behind podcasts. Just being able to inspire people through these conversations and like showing the story and the behind the scenes of the videos is it's the best part. And I watch a lot of podcasts, and yeah, it's a lot of them inspire me a lot, and just the knowledge you gain and stuff. It's powerful. So
Hmm.
this podcast thing you're doing is awesome. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I love it, man. I mean, just being able to talk to people in the first place, and then being able to talk to big people, that's, I mean, pretty insane. I mean, I don't, I try not to contact people just because I'm a fan, but at the same time, down deep inside, when you're talking to someone like big, it's cool. Um, but I mean,
Yeah.
Smarty said in the chat, he said, um, I recently made a post saying, "Man, talk to celebrities like normal people because they are." And that's what they secretly want. And so that's I think that's why I started the Audit podcast in the first place, because I wanted to make the big celebrities just feel like normal people again, because I've never really felt what it's like to be a celebrity, but I know it probably can be tough because you just have people probably trying to spam you or whatever just to be able to talk to you like you're Jesus. And it's just like sometimes maybe you want to go back and you just want to be that regular person again.
Yeah. It is a weird feeling because like I remember worshiping my favorite YouTubers when I was little, so full
Yeah.
circle. But
I
I don't
mean,
really get
but
bothered
I
by it. I
think,
think
yeah, I think with you, Chris, though, is that I think if you make a good enough personal connection, that people people won't drool all over you. They'll just think of you as Chris. They'll just think of you as a normal person who likes YouTube. And
Yeah.
but that's all what it's about. I mean, you can't have 170,000 subscribers and not not be active with them. It's
Yeah.
just all about making personal connections. What I wanted to ask you about is we never even got into it, but what about the modern island? I saw that on your YouTube channel. I thought that was like really impressive of like what all that was.
Yeah. So that was like kind of my first real game I've ever made actually. Prior to that, I hadn't really released like a full on game, especially to that scale. Like it was a huge map, and I put a lot of thought into it, and it was actually really good. The launch was, I mean, semi successful because there were like a ton of bugs and stuff, but at the same time, we launched with like 800 players on the first day, and obviously I had a donation board on the at the front because I was obsessed with it was the same
Yeah.
summer of 21 when I was in the AFK game. So I had to I had to get my donations, and it's funny because the donations in that game also amounted to a lot. It was like 30% of all the earnings on the game. But it was a really good game. I was trying to kind of ride like the vibe game trend during that time, which was a trend a long time ago, and it was slowly kind of going away at that point. But I wanted to make like a hangout game, and I thought, I love like islands and like those tropical themes. So
Yeah.
I decided to basically combine the modern kind of theme of my name and my channel with a tropical thing, and I think it worked really well. The map is like beautiful. I mean, super cool tropical theme, and it was like a hangout game. Basically, people could just hang out there. I had like a shop, emotes. I wanted to even had some boats at one point. So a lot of stuff for that game. But unfortunately, it kind of just slowly fell off. Um, I mean, I'm not that surprised. It was like my first ever game, so I I didn't know, I didn't have that much experience with developing, and I hired like a whole team for it. So I had a builder, a scripter, UI. Like I hired all these people, and it was actually pretty expensive. I ended up making profit with the game, thankfully, but I think it was a cool experience.
Mhm.
And it was like my first time being like an actual developer. I had,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young, like I had always tried to do any development stuff. So like I would slowly pick up like building and stuff. But this was like my first real game I've ever made. So it was like a really cool experience. And yeah, unfortunately, it didn't really work in the long term, but I still think it was great, and like I learned a lot from it. And I think it was a nice launch, and it's a cool game. You can find it on my profile, and it's still public. So if you guys want
Yeah.
to check it out,
I definitely
it's
want to go try it out.
yeah, it's a nice game.
So you actually ended up finishing it, I guess, right?
I mean, I had like updates in mind that we never really got to, like the boats thing. I wanted to have some like cool boats, and
Yeah.
I had models, but then it just fell apart. But
Yeah.
the map is pretty much fully, yeah, the map is like big and it's full. So there's like 4 islands. It's really nice.
Yeah, but I mean, all you need to do is just set that goal, man. And so, um, if you want it, you can achieve it. But if you don't want it, then
Don't achieve it.
don't achieve it, man. But I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you want to keep updating that game. I mean, that was your first game.
Yeah.
Have you made any
Yeah.
other? Have you actually made any other successful games?
Well, since that one, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I do have two games kind of in the catalog getting ready. I haven't worked on them that much lately, but
Yeah.
there's this one concept I have that I'm holding on to that surprisingly I still haven't seen anything similar to it. So
Oh yeah.
working on that. I'm working on that game. It's a good concept, so I'm sure a lot of people will love that game. It's a cool game.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely good when you get a niche and like nobody's doing it, and it's like maybe I just
Yeah.
created something.
Yeah. That's kind of how the AFK game thing happened.
Yeah, I know. It's always cool making up your own trend, and then like, I mean, I did that once, but it was just me doing it, so it wasn't really ever a trend. But
Yeah,
but sometimes you make your own trend, and then people start hopping on the bandwagon. How much did you actually end up spending on the island?
it was expensive. I guess I had to hire like the map was like, very expensive. The scripter,
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
had
it
to
was. It's
hire.
definitely high quality.
I had to change the scripter like 3 times, and I didn't have that much hiring experience at this time, so
Yeah.
wasn't the best. But but yeah, no, the game was expensive. I think it was like a few $1,000s to make the whole thing.
Oh wow. Like
Yeah,
you paid them in USD or
yeah, I paid
oh
them in USD,
oh wow.
but it
Well,
still made profit,
yeah,
so we're
that's
good.
good. Um, all right. Well, someone joined me, but anyways, I think we're good here. We're at 1 hour and 5 minutes. So, anyways, Chris, thank you for being on the Audit Podcast. I definitely had a great time talking to you. Um,
Thank you, man. Yeah, this is
and
amazing, man. And
I hope the
definitely
viewers.
keep going.
We got 23 views. So, I mean,
Nice.
that's actually pretty good for a podcast. 23.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Imagine 23 people in front of you. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I think we still have one viewer, and I think I'm watching on like another
Yo,
channel.
sh- shout
So
out to that one viewer. It
yeah,
might
shout
be
out to
you.
that one viewer.
A
But
shout out.
anyways, thank you, Chris. Everybody, Audit Podcast. We'll
Thank
see
you for
y'all next
watching.
time. Let's go.